The night my sister got a Mercedes, the air outside smelled like champagne and gasoline. Neighbors gathered on the driveway, holding their phones high as my parents pulled the red ribbon off the hood. "She earned it," my mother said, crying into her tissue. "Our Amber worked so hard." Amber screamed, the sound cutting through the warm Texas night. "Oh my God, a Mercedes?" She hugged Dad, then Mom, then twirled her blonde hair as if she were in a commercial. I stood behind them, clutching a small white envelope. Inside a $5 Starbucks gift card. That was my graduation gift. "I'm Lena Brooks, 21, from Austin, Texas. I just graduated in computer science from UT on a full scholarship. Amber is 24, the golden child, the one who posts family is everything captions and tags our parents in brand deals. Dad, David Brooks, runs a real estate firm called Brooks & Partners Shiny Office, Bigger Ego. Mom, Marilyn, quit her art teaching job years ago to be his PR angel. I used to think we were just different kinds of people. I didn't realize they were different kinds of parents. When Dad turned to me that night, his smile dimmed a little. You'll get your big moment too, Lena. You're just not really the car type." I swallowed, forcing a laugh. "Guess I'm the gift card type then." They laughed politely. The kind of laugh that fills silence, but fixes nothing. Amber started the engine, revving it like she was claiming territory. Mom clapped. "Take it for a spin," she said. "Oh, Lena, take a picture of her first." So I did. The flash burst in the dark, freezing them in one perfect frame. Amber in her Mercedes, Mom glowing beside her, Dad proud behind them. And me, the ghost holding the camera. That night the house was loud with celebration. Laughter through the walls, champagne corks, Amber's playlist thumping. I sat at my desk, staring at the gift card on the table. $5. Not even enough for a large drink. It wasn't about money, it was about meaning. For years I'd justified it. They just connect with her better. You're the serious one, Lena. You don't need attention. But that night, it didn't feel like maturity. It felt like invisibility. I opened my laptop, the same one I'd built my portfolio on, and scrolled through my freelance dashboard. A few contracts waiting, a client in Seattle offering steady work. My last payment had cleared that morning. I checked my bank account. Enough for a plane ticket. Enough to disappear. My heart started racing, not in fear, but in freedom. Downstairs, Amber was showing Dad how to connect her phone to the car. Mom shouted, "Don't drive too far tonight." The sound faded under the hum of the refrigerator. I packed quietly. Laptop, charger, passport, a small stack of cash. I folded one photo of me and Amber as kids. We were in matching pink raincoats, grinning. I didn't hate her, but I couldn't stay near her anymore. At 1:57 a.m., I opened my notes app and typed a message. "Don't look for me. You already forgot I existed." I scheduled it to send at 8 a.m. Then I walked into the hallway, suitcase rolling softly against the floorboards. I paused outside Amber's door. The Mercedes key fob glowed faintly on her nightstand. I almost laughed. The symbol of everything wrong, shining like a trophy. Outside, the night was warm and wide. The cicadas buzzed. Streetlights painted long, lonely shadows. I unlocked my old sedan, the one I'd bought myself after saving from part-time tech jobs. It coughed before starting. Fitting. As I drove past the house, I didn't look back. People always think leaving feels dramatic. It doesn't. It feels quiet, almost weightless, like the world has stopped expecting anything from you. At the intersection, the red light flicked to green. For a moment, I saw my reflection in the windshield. Tired eyes, cracked lips, but steady. Austin faded behind me. The highway stretched north, endless and empty. When dawn broke somewhere outside Dallas, my phone buzzed once, a notification from Amber's Instagram. "Best night ever. So thankful, number Mercedes girl." I muted her account, threw my phone on the seat, and whispered to the empty car. "Good. You can have the spotlight." The road ahead gleamed like a promise. At 2:03 a.m., I had vanished from their world. And for the first time, I wasn't invisible. I was free. Seattle didn't care who I was, and that's exactly what I needed. It rained the morning I arrived. Cold drizzle, gray sky, no one smiling. Perfect. I found a studio apartment above a bakery that smelled like cinnamon and second chances. The rent was high, but freedom had a price. I set up my life quietly. Laptop, folding table, mattress on the floor. No family photos, no noise. Just me, the hum of my computer, and the sound of the city exhaling through the rain. For the first time in years, I could breathe without apology. I started freelancing again, cybersecurity contracts for startups. Word spread fast. I wasn't Lena, the quiet daughter, anymore. I was Lena Brooks, the woman who could build digital fortresses for anyone who paid on time. Money started coming in. Clients called me reliable. I bought secondhand furniture, a better laptop, and noise-canceling headphones to drown out memories. But peace is a fragile thing. It only takes one click to destroy it. One night, while scrolling through social media, I saw Amber. She was standing beside her Mercedes, hair perfect, caption glowing. Couldn't have done it without my amazing parents. So grateful, number family goals. Mom had commented, "You make us proud every day, sweet girl." Below it, Dad added, "Our shining star." I stared at the screen until it blurred. I wasn't angry. Not anymore. Just hollow. They hadn't called. Not once. Not a text asking where I'd gone. Maybe they really didn't notice I was gone. That realization hit harder than any insult could. I closed the app, but the ache stayed. A week later, while sipping instant coffee, I scrolled through a freelance job board. That's when I saw it. Data security analyst needed Carter Realty and Investments, Austin TX. I froze. That was Dad's company. Different name. He must have merged it after I left. But the contact email was unmistakable. david.brooks@carterinvest.com. For a moment, I laughed out loud. The irony was divine. I reread the post. They wanted someone to run an internal audit, fix data vulnerabilities, and secure financial systems. They had no idea who would be behind the screen. Within an hour, I created a new profile. Name: Samantha Lane. Location: remote. Experience: cyber risk consultant. I attached my portfolio under a new email address. 3 days later, I got the job. Dad's assistant wrote, "Welcome aboard, Miss Lane. Your professionalism impressed Mr. Brooks." I laughed again quietly, bitterly. My own father was impressed by me. He just didn't know it. Working remotely gave me full access to the company's internal network. I told myself I'd just audit it, do the work, get paid. But curiosity has its own hunger. The first odd thing I found was a shared folder named Amber Partnerships. Inside were invoices labeled as charity collaborations. The amounts were huge: $30,000, $42,000, $61,500. The recipient? Amber Brooks Media LLC. The source of the money? Carter Realty's client accounts. I sat back in my chair, heart pounding. They were funneling business funds to Amber's influencer brand, disguising it as charity expenses. Dad's signature appeared on several authorizations. Mom's email approved the transfers. And one file made my stomach turn. A tax registration document listing my name, Lena Brooks, as the officer of a dummy corporation. They'd used my social security number. They'd stolen my identity. For a few seconds, I couldn't move. The screen blurred. It wasn't just favoritism anymore, it was theft. That night, I sat at the window, watching the rain slide down the glass. I could almost hear Dad's voice. "You're the sensible one, Lena. You don't need what she needs." No, I didn't. But I needed justice. The next morning, I began to plan. I created a new encrypted folder on my desktop and titled it Inheritance. Inside, I began saving everything: bank transfers, emails, client logs, tax reports. Each document another crack in the perfect image of the Brooks family. Amber's posts, Mom's pride, Dad's speeches, they were all built on my stolen name. It was poetic, really. They erased me to build their empire. Now, I'd use their empire to resurrect myself. That night, I closed my laptop and whispered to the dark. "You should have known better, Dad. You raised a coder, not a fool." Outside, the city glowed through the mist, silent, patient, waiting. The Brooks family didn't know it yet, but their reckoning had already begun. The first rule of revenge is patience. The second is silence. For 3 weeks, I became both. I logged into Carter Realty's systems every morning, greeting my father through fake emails signed, "Best, Samantha." Each best felt like a blade. My job was to strengthen the company's digital security. What I was really doing was dismantling it, piece by piece, with surgical precision. Every file told a story. Invoices labeled community sponsorships were laundering payments to Amber's charity partnerships. I found receipts for her luxury brand trips paid directly from company funds. Mom's name was everywhere. She'd signed off on the fake transactions, calling them marketing investments. The deeper I went, the more grotesque it became. They'd even forged digital tax forms under my name to claim deductions on money that never existed. Dad had stolen my identity to save on taxes. Mom had pretended not to know. Amber was too busy posing with her car to notice. It wasn't just betrayal. It was erasure, perfected. I started gathering everything. I created 3 encrypted folders. Folder 1, Amber, contained every screenshot of her sponsorship deals and misused charity donations. Folder 2, Carter, all company documents, fake accounts, money trails, payroll manipulation, wire fraud. Folder 3, Legacy, personal emails, Dad mocking me for wasting potential, Mom defending Amber's shine, Amber writing to her manager, Lena's too boring for collabs. Each folder was a weapon. But I didn't want to just expose them, I wanted them to watch it happen. So I planned the leak like a performance. No shouting, no confrontations, no storming into the house with receipts. They'd wake up one morning and find their lives unraveling publicly, line by line, headline by headline. First, I contacted Eli Grant, an investigative reporter who specialized in white-collar fraud. I sent him a short encrypted message. I have proof of corporate embezzlement, identity theft, and charity fraud involving the Brooks family of Austin, Texas. You'll want to see this. He replied 6 hours later. If this is real, send me evidence. I did. Not all just enough to make him hungry. Then I forwarded the full package to Agent Dana Ruiz at the IRS, using a disposable encrypted server. She never replied. But I saw what I needed to 3 days later. The company's tax portal went offline for review. They didn't know it yet, but the system had already begun chewing through their secrets. The first domino fell on a Tuesday. Amber's sponsorship with a luxury brand vanished overnight. The company released a statement. We take all allegations of charity fund misuse seriously. Her comments filled with fire. Fake influencer. You use donation money for handbags? Then came the local news. Eli's article hit the Austin Chronicle front page. Real estate royalty under federal investigation for tax and charity fraud. The photo? Amber and my parents, smiling in front of the Mercedes. The story spread like a virus. TV anchors called it the Brooks family scandal. Clients pulled out. Sponsors fled. I sat in my Seattle apartment, watching the live coverage with coffee in hand. And then the text came. Mom, Lena, please, did you do this? I stared at it for a long time before replying. You gave her the Mercedes. You gave me the motive. No response. A few minutes later, Amber's number flashed. I let it ring twice, then answered. Lena? Her voice trembled. What did you do? Everyone's saying. I didn't do anything, I said softly. You just finally got seen. Do you hate me? I thought about that. No, I said. I stopped needing you to see me a long time ago. She whispered. You ruined us. No, I said. You built yourself on a lie. I just removed the filter. Then I hung up. That night, rain battered the window. My inbox flooded messages from journalists, people wanting quotes. I ignored them all. I wasn't seeking fame. I wasn't looking for applause. I wanted silence, the kind that comes after justice lands exactly where it belongs. For the first time, I felt it. That stillness. That heavy, earned quiet. The Brooks empire was crumbling, and I didn't lift a finger in anger. I just told the truth precisely, relentlessly, digitally. They had taken my name. Now the world knew what it was worth. 6 months later, I stood in front of the house I once called home. Same white porch, same wind chimes, but everything else had collapsed. The Mercedes was gone. The Carter Realty sign had been taken down. And the lawn, once perfect, was now a patchy wasteland. I parked my small rental at the curb and turned off the engine. I didn't plan to go inside. I just wanted to see the ashes of what used to own me. After the investigation, everything came down fast. Dad's company lost its license. The IRS seized his accounts. Mom tried to shift blame, but her signatures were everywhere. Amber lost her sponsors, her followers, her brand deals. When I saw her apology video online, she was crying, no makeup, trembling voice. She said she was manipulated by her parents. She never said my name, and I didn't correct her. That was her punishment, to live in half-truths while the world stopped believing her. I walked up the path and found the front door slightly ajar. Someone had left it unlocked. Inside, the walls were stripped bare. No family portraits, no warmth, only echoes. Lena. The voice came from the kitchen. Mom. Older, smaller, eyes swollen from sleepless nights. For a second, neither of us moved. I knew you'd come back, she whispered. Not to stay, I said. She looked around, shame flickering behind her mascara-smudged eyes. We made mistakes, she said, but you destroyed us. No, I replied calmly. You destroyed me first. I just stopped bleeding quietly. She flinched. Your father's sick. He's not the same. Actions have consequences, I said. That's not illness. That's justice catching up. Her lips trembled. You could have just talked to us. I almost laughed. You didn't listen when I begged for fairness. Why would you have listened to truth? Silence swallowed the room. The ticking clock felt louder than her heartbeat. I took one last look at her, the woman who taught me to keep peace even when it meant silence. And for once, I chose not to be silent. I hope someday, I said softly, you'll understand that love without equality isn't love. It's control dressed as care. Then I walked away. Outside, the sun was setting behind the neighborhood trees. Amber was sitting on the curb, hoodie pulled over her head, scrolling her phone like it held the last piece of her old life. When she saw me, her eyes widened. Lena. She stood, awkwardly. You look different. I am. She took a step closer. They're blaming you for everything. I shrugged. Let them. I told the truth. Her voice cracked. I didn't know they were using your name for taxes. I swear I didn't. I know, I said, but you didn't care enough to ask. Tears welled up. I lost everything. No, I said quietly. You lost illusions. There's a difference. She exhaled shakily, as if those words cut deeper than anger ever could. Then she looked at the house, at the decay, and whispered, So what now? I smiled faintly. Now you rebuild, without pretending. She nodded, tears falling freely. And you? I already did. I turned and walked toward my car. The wind carried the faint sound of the old chimes, the same ones that used to ring during family dinners. Laughter, lies. Now they just sounded like closure. As I drove away, the rearview mirror caught the last glimpse of that broken house, standing hollow against a sky turning gold. For years, I thought revenge was about winning. It's not. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of needing to. They had their Mercedes. I had my peace. And in the quiet hum of the open road, that felt worth far more than anything they could have given me,